is time for another Azure haul. This is for May.
It's gonna be May.
I will link our Azure code down below if you are new to Azure and you want to try it. There's a link that will take you right to their website. And let me show you what I got. I did get some new fun things this month to show everybody. So I'm very excited. First things first, I'm gonna show you the frozen and the cold stuff. We have been trying out this brand of ice cream and we loved it. It is on sale and it's also cheaper in the 4-pack. So we picked up a few different flavors in the 4-pack. We got the mint chip, the vanilla bean, and the Dutch chocolate in the 4-packs. And we like them because they have very clean ingredients. This one has a few more things because, oops, let me show you. This one has a few more things because it does have, you know, chocolate chips and all of that in it. But as you can see, there's not stabilizers and preservatives and just random stuff. It's, you know, sugar, chocolate, that sort of thing that you would expect to see, and nothing that you wouldn't expect to see. We also, just for fun, we also just for fun got some of these smaller ones just to try them out. So there's this vanilla fudge swirl and the cookie dough. I got that for my husband. So yeah, very excited to have these around. We only have ice cream maybe once a week, you know, with the kids or something, but it's nice to have these stocked up and stored in the freezers because we don't live close to any grocery stores that have high quality ice cream. Also over here, we have their 5-pound strawberries. They redid their packaging. These used to come in a box and a bag, and now they just come in this bag. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know what the difference is really. Although the other bag was really nice because it would get loose and you could twist it. This seems like it would be harder to twist up and kind of fold under itself, you know, to keep it fresh. So that's a little bit different. I'm not sure I like this as much. Same thing for the green beans. I usually buy this in the 2 by 5 pound quantities, and they have new bags. So yeah, I do think so far it seems like I would prefer the old packaging, but this is fine. And then under this, we have our frozen chicken breasts. This is Mary's organic breast, boneless, skinless. So we really like this brand. We've been eating through the chicken thighs and the ground chicken, and now we have some chicken breasts to eat as well. On to the cold stuff. We picked up this Monterey Jack. We usually stock cheddar and mozzarella and pepper jack, and sometimes I make a recipe that calls for Monterey Jack, so I thought it would be fun to get this, shred it up in bags, and just have this on hand. We'll probably only buy this once a year because we don't use it that often, but it'll be nice to have around. And then this Gouda, I bought this last time and it is amazing. Actually, my husband does prefer a harder Gouda. We tried it last time and it's delicious, but he does prefer a harder product, but I think I prefer this. It is a soft Gouda and it's so good. Here we have this Nancy's sour cream. This will last a while in the refrigerator, so we always get the big pack, and it lasts 2 or 3 months, and that's just about perfect for us to go through it. And I think that's all of the cold stuff this time. So moving on to produce, we got the oranges and the apples. I haven't been buying the big cases because they're not really in season right now. So I found that some of the varieties that are in the big cases have gotten a little bit mealy at this point in the year, and we just don't like them as much, and we don't eat them fast enough. So I'm just getting these every once in a while, and we cut these up rather than handing these out to the kids whole. You know, we'll slice these up and serve them with peanut butter or cheese or something like that. And then we got the avocados and the kiwis again. We took a break from the kiwis, but we are going to give them another try. They look great this time. They haven't looked so great the past couple months that I got them. But these look awesome. Maybe a little bit small, but hopefully they are tasty. Back here, I picked up the pear juice. I was trying a brand, it was a different brand, and it was called Pear Nectar. We like to have this on hand for digestive stuff, and this was a much better buy than the other thing that we had, although the other thing was delicious. I think it had more pulp in it, and this seems like it's a smoother product. Then we also picked up the orange juice because one of my kids was looking over my shoulder while I was placing the order and asked if we could get some orange juice. So I said, okay, we will stick some on there. I also stocked up our salsa verde. We don't cook with it too often, but it seems like I never have it when I need it. We use it in white chicken chili recipes. Probably something else that I can't remember right now. What did I need this for? So we'll have this on the shelf for whenever we need it for that. The only plant starts I picked up this time are the giant sunflowers. We grew these once. Whoop, the leaf is in the way. We grew these once at our old house and they get absolutely massive and it was so much fun, but we grew them in pots, and so when the wind blew, the pots fell over because they were just so top heavy and big. So it'll be fun to stick these in the garden and see what happens to them out there.
That was until the roots came through the pot.
Yeah. Here I picked up some chocolate because I do a lot of my shopping while I'm nursing and this just sounded amazing. So we got these, and then this one, doesn't that look delicious? Raspberry cream. We had one chocolate one month that was supposed to be a cherry flavor, and we were expecting something like this, but it was just like a very subtle cherry flavor and it wasn't what we wanted. So I'm hoping that this is more like what we wanted. And these probiotic refreshers from Good Wolf are amazing. I love them. They're water kefirs. Let's see. I am trying to make my own, but I haven't quite gotten good at them yet, and these are really nice to have for guests. So I did actually order another big case of the Marionberry flavor, but it did not fill. I think these are getting really, really popular, and they've been on sale, so they've been a little bit hard to get. But I will keep trying to keep those stocked because even if I make my own, these are just so handy if somebody comes over. Next, I picked this up because whenever I have a little bit of an infection, like from nursing or something like that, I love to take garlic for it. Not that I love taking garlic, I just feel like it works. But it's horrible to choke down. And so I thought this would be really cool to have around. This is what it has in it. And I thought I would just use this, not as a daily supplement, but you know, just if I'm under the weather, I would like to have some of these just to take. I also have some kiddos that have some skin things going on, some rough skin. And so I picked this up to give it a try, just to see if this would be nice for them. It looks like an amazing product, so I'm excited to try it. On to the bags back here. I am so excited. I don't know if I've just been missing it or if this is a new product, but I have not been able to get sushi rice on Azure. We've just been eating a normal, very not organic, highly processed sushi rice that we get at the grocery store. And I was very excited to see this offering. So we picked up this, and this will last us, I'm sure, 6 months because we don't eat it that often. Just every once in a while we make our own sushi and it'll be nice to have. I want to show you guys these blueberries. They are teeny tiny and they're super sweet because of the apple juice infused thing. And they're so good in granola. They are what I prefer to put in our homemade almond, like our almond flavored granola. They're amazing. Don't get them confused with just the regular dried blueberries because those are bigger, they have a different chew, and they're not as sweet. But these are amazing. They do have sunflower oil, if that's something you avoid. These are not for you, but they're delicious. All right, we picked up the raw almonds. Those are pretty standard. Cashews, we like to keep them in jars. Right along here we have granola and cashews, and those are just extra canning jars that need to go downstairs. But whenever a kid is hungry, they can just reach their hand in and grab some of these, and they actually love them, and I love it because it's such a whole food kind of snack, and they think it's awesome. So that's a win. We also picked up a restock of the bittersweet chocolate chips, and I got some elbow mac and cheese because my kids love the shape of pasta. No matter what we're eating, this is their favorite shape of pasta. Moving back here, I picked up the lids that I forgot to order last month. These are mostly for our chicken feeders. My husband made these waterers that are much easier to clean. I think it's called Rent-A-Coop, but anyway, I needed lids for the 5-gallon buckets that we're using to put water in. And then we ran out of plastic wrap. I don't use this very often at all. This will probably last us well over a year, but I did run out. And every once in a while, you just need some plastic wrap that, you know, for things that you just really don't feel like washing. Sometimes the beeswax wrap just doesn't cut it, but we'll have this around. And then I was doing a subscribe and save for some baking cups, and then I noticed that Azure carries quite a bit of stuff like this, so I don't know why I was getting that through Amazon, but we're gonna get it through this brand because we really like this brand. We get coffee filters and parchment paper and lots of things through If You Care. So there's that. Picked up some onions. This is just a standard purchase. We get this probably every other month. We love their onions. And then we've been really into ramen. I've been making kind of just a veggie broth type of soup. And I add some sesame oil to it and maybe do an egg on the side. And it's a nice way to serve my kids some eggs. They won't eat, but it gives them exposure, you know. I still put it on their plate, and I know they'll eat the noodles now, so that's exciting. I've also served it with baby corn sometimes, which only one of them will eat. But, you know, exposure, we're trying, and this is just a good product. We ran out of our honey. I always get the raw honey because our primary use for honey is elderberry syrup, which we take daily as a vitamin. So I cool my elderberry syrup down when I make it so that it's room temperature, and then I add the honey so that it's not, we don't harm the honey, the health, what am I trying to say? We don't want to kill anything beneficial in the honey, adding it when it's too hot. So we make sure we bring it to room temperature, and then we get all the benefits of that. It would be great to find local honey, but I don't have the bandwidth or the budget right now to buy enough of it to make a difference. So this is what we get. We will part this into pint jars so that it's not as messy, because it's just so messy trying to scoop into this. My arm ends up completely covered in honey when I do that project. It's really not a preferred task, but I do prefer to reach for all those nice pint jars full of honey. So it is worth doing. The only herbs I was out of this month are thyme. I needed some upstairs and some downstairs, which was surprising. I think I had a bunch of old bottles of thyme. You know how, I don't know, I feel like they get picked up around the holidays, and then we just had all these half-used jars of thyme, which I've been working my way through. So thyme wasn't really integrated into our, like our 3-tier spice system yet, but now it will be. And then I picked up burdock root because I have been learning a little bit about making tinctures, and I'm very curious about exploring burdock root. I don't know if I'm going to take it while I am nursing, but I have heard many say that it's plenty safe, and then some say that it's not studied. But either way, I want to learn how to make this tincture, and this was really cheap to pick up. I think it was like $4 for this little bit or something like that. So that'll be a fun experiment. If you've never heard of the benefits, look it up. I don't want to get too long-winded here, but it seems like a very, very amazing herb for your liver and even your kidneys, I think. Back here we picked up the chips. Chips are something that we are no longer buying at Costco. We like to have these around if we ever want to make homemade queso, or sometimes we'll have cheesy chips after church or just in a pinch. And then we also make a taco bake sometimes that we use these for. All right, my camera is overheating and I'm losing battery, so I have to talk quickly. Here we have the ketchup. We get this. This is probably the 3rd or 4th time we've bought this big box, and we love it. We also picked up green enchilada sauce because I ran out of this. I think I only bought the 3-pack last time, but I used it, so I stepped up to this big box. And then I stocked up on the grape jelly. I only got one of these because I prefer to buy them when they're on sale. When they are on sale, I'll buy, 4 or 5 of these 6-packs at a time. But they were not on sale, and we were completely out of grape jelly, so just one. Down here, we got the flour. I actually probably could have picked up way more flour than this, but we were kind of at budget this month. So next month I will pick up more flour. And then back here we have the Modesto Chick Starter. We made it through 1 bag for the first, they're about 4 weeks old now, but now they are really eating a lot. So I'm sure we will go through these 2 bags, and then we can probably, they'll probably be at the age where we can switch them over to normal chicken feed, probably by the next Azure order. So that'll be perfect timing. Okay, thank you all so much for joining. Maybe this gives you some ideas of things that they have that you haven't seen. I know that I love watching Azure hauls too, so Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.